Hi, welcome to Jesus Before Money. Today it's Saturday, August 23rd. I think I got that right. Yep. And want to do a deep dive into silver. You know, a lot of people are very interested in cryptocurrencies because, you know, we're moving to this new digital age and everything else, all the positive stuff behind that. But the thing is there's a lot of talk about how some of these cryptos are probably going to be backed by commodities. And that after this system that we've had, this fiat-based system fails, commodities such as gold, silver, and copper are going to be very, platinum, palladium, probably all of them, right, are going to be very important. And my favorite play is silver. If you just Google, silver is one of the most shorted commodity out there. It's used in the and the speculation behind that is that it's used in the military-industrial complex for a lot of our weapons, a lot of our missiles, and everything else. And they're artificially trying to keep silver low, which is interesting. It's a thesis. Is it true? Maybe. Just want to throw that out there. So if we get a silver short squeeze, this thing could go to the moon. Plus, I'm just going to look at the technicals and try to give you a good idea about where I see silver going. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, we are looking at a monthly chart. So every one of these candles is a month. This goes back to February of 1980 was its peak, around $50. It was about 48-ish. And then we peaked again April 2011. And since then, also, this time it was about $50. This is actually upsloping, okay? And then we got rejected. But this pattern here, if you can see it, is actually a cup and handle pattern, okay? Which is a very bullish pattern. Very, 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 very bullish. What is a cup and handle pattern? So now I'm going to say is, how do these cup and handle patterns usually play out, right? What you do on a cup and handle pattern is you measure from the base, which is about here, about $3.52. Wow, that would have been a heck of a buying opportunity. Up to the top. So the top is about here, around $45. $45 move. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it's about $45 up to the top of the cup. Now, when this thing breaks out, you add $45. So it's pretty easy to do the math. Around 50, add 45. That's way more than 45. Add 45, we get up to about $100. A pierce of $100 just on this move. Okay. Now let's dive into some of the more intricate things here. And then we'll switch to the logarithmic. I think you're going to see that silver could go much higher. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the daily chart. So what are some near-term price targets before we hit here? Now I'm not saying it's going to $100 right away. This pattern, let me go back to the weekly so you can see the whole thing. Right. This pattern, what's more than likely going to happen, it's going to hit 50 again. It's going to get rejected. It's going to find support, put in bullish consolidation before we rip up to 100. I'm very, very confident that silver is going to see $50 and it's ultimately going to see $100. $100 is going to be a major top, but it can still continue because that would be this full measured move. Okay. Now, what do we see on the parallels here? First of all, I have this parallel. If this was the cup, this is the handle, right? So we're just been chopping in here, and we could possibly do something like this. Maybe we're saying, you know, now we're in a breakout mode and we're going to come back and find support on top of here, right? It's debatable, but that's interesting because that would mean we've broken out and that the top of this, look at the top has been support. You see these candles? Support, 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 and now we're breaking out. So that's interesting. Maybe we're going to head up there. Okay? So however the handles being developed, we're either in a breakout or we just put this flat and we're going to come up here. You know, maybe we just got some dips here. I don't know. Some pierces. But we're going to run up here. Ultimately, around $50 is going to be resistance, okay? And I'm going to hide that one. The next parallel I want to highlight is this one. So this is still on the weekly. I'm going to go to the daily. We've been, this got, because I'm in logarithmic. This got tagged, okay? So this has been resistance here. So where could we expect a pullback? I think silver is going to get up to just pierce about $40, okay, before we get another check back. If silver has enough momentum to break out of here, find the support, and then we can move up to 50. But for now, this has been holding a lot of resistance going back to April of 23 is here. This is April of 23. So it's been tagging, pulling back, tagging, pulling back, tagging, pulling back, tagging, pulled back, but still is very, very strong here. So I'm looking at $40 on silver coming soon, okay? But not quite 50 yet. All right. Before we move to the much longer term chart, let's see. I just wanted to make sure I did that right there with that handle portion. Yeah, no, I didn't. I was on the logarithmic. But anyway, cup, handle, it's still $45, but this parallel here, probably something like this. Let me see. We go like that and just go to the tip. That means it's like $38, $40 level. Wait, what's going on here? I'm up here around $42. If this is the parallel, this is the handle. See, cup and then handle, probably our handle. We'll probably hit 42 or 40-ish, come back, and then try to get up here to about $42 before we get a more significant pullback, and then we can bounce up here to 50 is most likely what's going to happen. So 40 is your big level, 42 is your next big level, and then probably chop, and then on our way to 50. Okay, now let's hide that. What I want to just find out, show you real quick, is if we are heading into a financial crisis, right? Here is 2008. Okay, let me highlight that. So the silver hold up in a panic selling on the stock market? No, we went from 21 bucks all the way down to 8. So a significant drop in silver price as the stock market bottomed. We had a 60% crash in silver as the stock market bottomed in this is November of 2008, right? So the stock market started to crash. This crashed, and then silver and gold ripped higher first. People, as the stock market comes in, people move to the safest assets, silver and gold first. But when things sell, everything tends to sell. Gold, silver, everything gets hit, right? There's a panic sell. Things get liquidated. People need cash. They sell their gold and silver, okay? So that's usually what happens, and then we get a big rip. So could we see that? Yeah, we could see that. And then look at COVID. COVID was right here. So also, during even COVID, we crashed. And then it ripped. And it ripped. So until that happens, we're going to be in a bull state. We're going to keep pushing. I really like this level here, even if we come in a little bit more to this base. I really like the $34, $35 level on silver for a check back. That's where I will be trying to buy more silver. Okay, I'm just talking about levels in the price pattern, right? You can buy and hold forever if you want to, but I really want to try to find good levels to buy stuff. So $34 is probably a really good level, and then probably maybe even just a little bit lower. You know, $33.50. Call it $33 to $35 is going to be a great zone to buy silver. $33 to $35. Probably going to get a check back and then a bounce, and then finally get to rip up. Okay? So finally, let's look at the master plan here. I'm going to switch this to logarithmic, which I was in on accident before. I'm going to put on this top parallel. No, not that one. That one. Let's get that one off of there. Now on the weekly. Look at this. Look how the bottoms line up so beautifully, right? And then this top lines up with maybe this top. I mean, if we break out a 50, sure, we'll go up here to about, 100-ish is about here. But I think ultimately we could probably run up to $300 in silver, seeing it 10x, especially if silver, the fiat money dies and they switch to a different type of thing that's backed by gold and silver. I think you can definitely see $300 silver. At least 100. This pattern is showing $100 silver, 50 and then 100. Okay, that's the full measured move of this cup and handle. But this chart is telling me we could possibly see $300 silver. So buying silver right now around $38, $39 is fine. The only thing I want to caution you is if we do get a big sell-off in the stock market like this, the 2008 financial crisis, silver comes down. If we get a COVID, silver comes in, right? So just be cautious. Let's just go back to 2000. Where's the .com? Here's around the .com. We saw another flush. This is 1999. We saw another flush in silver, right? So gold and silver goes down. But the thing is, when there's panic in the streets, people buy the most secure, safest asset first. They buy gold and then they buy silver. And those would be an indicator when the stock market is going to start following if we get a major sell-off. Okay? I hope that is helpful. I'm very bullish on silver. And, I hope you enjoyed this. God bless you.